reader wrote to the New York Times wanting to know what to do when older relatives hurt young ones with blunt advice. They say they were flabbergasted after hearing an uncle tell their nephew he talks too much and a grandparent tell their grandkid to lose weight. Whoa. So, Enoch, can blunt advice be good advice even if it's hurtful? Because you have 3 little girls at home. Do you want the grandparents talking to them that way?
I'll say this, right? I think that I wouldn't want anybody and everybody kind of pouring to my daughters and saying anything, but I do realize that there are a lot of people that are older that have a lot of experiences. Yes, the delivery sometimes doesn't come out the way you would want. This is why you have parents out there to kind of massage it and kind of get the actual value out of the conversation. But I also do agree that, yes, that could be dangerous, but at the same time, you have to have the right circle and system around you that can massage it and bring take the value out of it that is necessary.
And I also think it matters who. I think in this case, grandparents' context matters because you would imagine that you would understand their intent or motivation. If it's strangers gonna start talking to my kid like that, look out.
Yeah, I don't know.
However, grandparents are a little different. And I will say there is, at least in my family, a cultural component to this. If you have a Filipino tita, she's gonna talk to you about 3 things, if she hasn't seen you in a while especially. Your skin, your weight, and your grades. Every single time. And here's the thing, I'm not even mad at it. We were all subject to this because it actually is not a criticism. It is coming with love.
Okay, wait,
so the motivation matters.
It is criticism, though. If
No, I'll tell you why. So the reason why it's not criticism, because the motivation matters, don't you think?
I guess I was raised Italian, and I don't know how I escaped the criticism, because I know I had people in my family, extended relatives, who got the same, very similar themes, right? It was talking about someone's weight. Oftentimes, you couldn't be the right weight. You were either too big, but then eat more because you're getting skinny, you're disappearing, right? Yeah. So, like that kind of things, talking about people, especially girls' bodies, I think the research shows time and time again that this is not a place that we should be critiquing. We should not be talking about people's bodies, even if it comes from supposedly a place of love. And so I
will say this, I get that, right? Like, and we know better now. We've come a long way in understanding child psychology, especially with girls. I get it. I got all of those comments growing up, and I'm okay, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm okay.
But lots of people are not okay.
I get it, but some people are. Yeah. A lot of us are. So there's room to have both discussions. In my family, when the titas would say that to you, it's because they were coming from a place of being an immigrant. They came here for opportunity. So they came here and they said, we want to give you everything possible to succeed. So in their eyes, if you're coming home with a bad report card and all the titas started talking, they're like, we came here to give you opportunity. So we want you to do the very best that you can. So it's actually... Can I say this? Some of the way that they would present things was actually their love language. So I harbor no ill will.
I think both of you are right. It can be hurtful, and we know more now. You know that one little comment from an uncle to an 11-year-old girl can stay with her well into her 30s, and then it's like that's the start of the eating disorder. We know that now.
That's right.
And you're also right. Sometimes those things are just said out of, and it's culture. I'm Caribbean. It is culture. You walk in the door before you take off your coat. You put on weight, and you're like, let me put my purse down first. Oh my gosh. But I will tell you this much. The idea of trying to change those people, forget it. The older relatives, you can talk to them all you want about this new age stuff. They're not budging. This is who they are, and I have accepted that. And I'll admit, I'm a little nose blind to those comments until somebody from the outside of our family comes in and I go, oh, they don't know about Auntie Laura now. Ooh, they're about to find out. They're about to find out. And it's not until then, but I'll tell you something else. I've been to other homes where the culture is different and they have a lot of silence. And it's not that they're not thinking the same thing, but they don't say anything. They're very passive aggressive. And I'll tell you, after having experiences in those families, I will take a blunt auntie any single day because at least I know exactly what you're thinking. And there's a trust in family that I'm not trying to kill you.
Right.
I'm saying it because I love you and that's something that I've noticed. And I could not imagine being with a family member who has all these thoughts and you're never seeing it, but there's this air of
I think there's a way to
sarcasm.
I just guess, here's what I come back to is, what is the goal? If ultimately the goal, if you're just doing it because it's what was done to you and you're just continuing that trend.
You want me to ask Auntie Lorna why she's asking me every time why I'm not married?
I don't know if you could ever, I think it's a battle that will never be won.
Sure.
You're not, like, it's so culturally deep that it's a battle that you don't want to spend too much time, resources, energy in it. You're not going to lose it. And then
We're
also
not
the
gonna do
value
that
out of
with
it,
our
though.
kids.
The reality is, look, these girls, or our girls at least, they're growing up in a world where we can't always protect them, right?
Sure.
They'll
Yeah.
see something, or hear something from somebody else, whether it's a teacher or friend or somebody that might be extremely hurtful. I think it's a teachable lesson time as well there. It's like, okay, they said this is what they really meant, or completely reject it. Say, hey, no, that's not your portion. That
I like
shouldn't
that.
be what you know what I mean? But if there is value in it, then go ahead and kind of bring it to
Yeah,
the
but
forefront.
it's not a generational thing, because I do have some younger cousins who have taken the baton and they have a lot to say as soon as you walk in the door.
I'll tell you this, Andrea.
Talking to you, Charlotte, but I love you,
had
girl.
a lot of never played professional football uncles that
Oh.
kind of gave me advice on how to be a professional athlete.
course.
And even out in the
Of
media.
course.
So, it happens all the time, but you learn to kind of sift through the advice, however blunt or even hurtful they might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.